The Splatter Chatter Podcast. Episode number 41.
The following podcast is intended for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Splatter Chatter. Tim Meyer here, joined by the glorious Chad Scanlon.
Yep, that's true.
We are missing our third person who usually co-hosts this great show.
Yeah.
He's absent.
It's a two-man wolf pack.
It's two-man job, just like the old days.
That's right. This is, like
this is a
months
throwback.
ago.
Yeah.
We're almost coming up on a year, too.
We are.
It's magical.
It's pretty scary.
Where's Pete, by the way?
I don't know where Pete
I'm
is.
looking across, and he's not here.
I don't see him. I don't see him.
It's weird.
He's not here.
Hmm.
He did leave us a voicemail.
Yes, he did.
But
actually, do you want to be more accurate? How many voicemails did he leave?
he left us two,
Uh-huh.
and one of those voicemails became misplaced. And by
but
misplaced,
it's a digital. How do you misplace something that's like you can't pick it up or touch it?
you accidentally delete it.
Wow.
Wow.
Pete, do you hear that?
I'm sorry, because you know what? It's funny about this is that I didn't beg him, but I was like, "Oh, Pete, you're gonna leave that voicemail because you know you're not gonna be here."
Right.
And he was like, "Yeah." He wasn't like that thrilled about it, but he said he would do it.
You were hounding him.
And I wouldn't say I was hounding him. I asked him a couple times.
Right.
But yeah, and I fucking deleted it. I deleted the one. So
well, because you knew he wasn't going to be here. He knew what the topic was. So his idea, no, it was your idea.
His idea was to write an email. And
Right. I almost the second time I almost took credit away from you.
Yeah.
This was your idea was for him
You
to
do that
call.
a lot. You do that a lot.
You don't deserve any credit.
That's true.
Is for him to call, leave a voicemail, and we could play it so that he was here.
Yeah,
Almost as if he was here.
It would be like he's here, but
And you deleted
I
half
deleted
of his work.
I deleted a good half of it.
Oh my
Because
God.
his voicemail was so fucking long, you couldn't fit it in one voicemail. Which
Yeah.
is kind of good because then I would have deleted the whole voicemail then.
That's
Not
true.
just half of it.
I can't believe I knew you were going to do it too. I really did. I thought about you accidentally hitting delete.
You know what? Because I never save
Yeah, me
messages.
too.
I always delete them.
I know. I'm the same way.
So I don't know, whatever.
It was this happened just a few minutes ago, and it was funny.
It was pretty funny. My face was, I had one of those, I had an O face.
well because we wanted to screen the voicemail.
Yeah, to make sure he didn't ramble anything inappropriate like he tends to do.
Nothing racist or
Nothing.
bigoted. Just to make sure it was just clean
family
fun.
fun.
Whoa,
weird.
And it was too. It's
It
a
was.
shame because this is the first time Pete's ever like censored himself to the point where we was like a general audience is approved.
It was
TV
definitely
PG.
weird. It was PG. But
Sorry, Pete.
Yeah, it's gone. Before we play it, that second half of it, do we have any news we want to talk about? We did start a Splatter Chatter YouTube channel.
That's right.
Yeah.
How does one access that?
They go to YouTube and type in Splatter Chatter.
That's
and
pretty
it comes
easy.
up. Yeah.
Pretty easy.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
And as a little tease, I think we're gonna have a video podcast soon.
Yeah, we're gonna try and do that.
No, we're gonna do that.
We're gonna
soon.
do that soon. We don't know when exactly. Maybe for the 50th episode.
What is this? What are we on?
41.
Okay, so in like 2 months.
Yeah, couple
The
months.
camera's gonna go right here.
We might post a few videos. We don't know. We're gonna experiment,
Yes.
not
Yes.
in a sexual way.
No. Oh man, you couldn't not go there, could you?
I don't know. I had to drop one.
Good, you got it out of your system.
Yeah, I
Thank
got
you.
it out early.
That's what she said. No, it's not. It doesn't work that way.
No, that doesn't work at all. So yeah, videos. I'm gonna try and upload as many episodes as I can,
Mm-hmm.
so that just people don't have access to like
Yeah.
iTunes at work or
Right.
Stitcher or however people listen to
Podbean.
podcasts. Yeah. So I thought YouTube was just another avenue to
Yeah,
post them on.
it is.
So
Great idea. I'm all
Great.
for it.
great. I'm glad you're for it.
Any other news for us?
For us specifically, no.
What other news would there have been?
I don't know.
Do you any
anything?
entertainment news?
Any entertainment?
I thought I had some stuff, but I don't remember it.
It's probably because we're doing this podcast much later than we normally would.
Yeah, I think there was some. I think I have a nerd boner for certain things coming in the near future. Like Game of Thrones starts in 1 month.
Oh yeah.
Captain America comes out in 1 month.
Yep.
There was some other big stuff I was getting pretty. Nope. I lost it. I thought I had something.
Whoa.
I feel like it was some kind of casting thing related to. Oh, maybe it was Fantastic Four casting. They pretty much have that nailed down.
Oh yeah, wasn't there like an outrage about who they casted?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Help me.
Johnny Storm.
Yes.
Michael. I think his name is Michael B. Jordan or something like that.
Yes. And like people were outraged because they casted a black actor.
Yeah.
In that role, which I think is retarded and stupid.
The outrage?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is.
How?
I know.
Seriously.
Listen, people are retarded.
People are stupid.
It wasn't the same outrage, but there was a little bit of like nose turned up at Mr. Fantastic is the kid who was in 21 and Over. He was also in
Never saw that.
He's in some like romantic comedy, drama, independent movie, at That Awkward Moment. I think he's in with somebody, Zac Efron maybe.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Anyway, so he's a relative unknown is the point, and
Okay.
they casted him in basically the lead role. So like, there's a little bit of like I said, some people have issue with that too. So it's getting a whole lot of flack.
After those first two movies, I don't think you
yeah.
fucking do any worse. So
I just want to know, and Kate Mara as Invisible Woman, I think, which is fine. She's a good actress.
Yeah, sure.
Big fan.
Good for her.
Shooter. She's in Shooter.
Mark.
Yeah. And she's also on that show House of Cards, which is good.
Ooh, haven't gotten into that.
Yeah, because you don't have Netflix, because you are behind.
Nope. Nope.
I just want to know, and maybe someone is in the business and can answer my question, when is Fox going to fucking get with the Marvel universe and actually make this shit? Because we can't have Spider-Man. We can't have Fantastic Four be folded into the Marvel universe. It'd be great if they would just do that.
I think, isn't it? Oh yeah, because they own those two, and Marvel bought back the rights to everything else.
Everything else except X-Men,
yeah,
Spider-Man, and
I just
Fantastic
think
Four.
that they just don't want to give up those.
I understand that
licenses.
I'm surprised that fanboys. I don't know. I guess why was everybody else willing to sell the rights to help unify Marvel? Like why are
I don't know. Fox is a bunch of douchebags.
Can't we all just get along?
I don't know.
I just want everyone to be happy.
I don't know. I think if Marvel, maybe they just like blew their load, like they didn't have enough money to pay for it. Maybe,
and they don't really need to. They're doing pretty well without that.
Yeah,
it would just be nice for.
I hear you. I mean, Spider-Man should make an appearance in the Avengers movie. That would be awesome.
Oh, and the other bit of news was something about issues with Superman, Batman. I don't know.
I don't even care about that. I don't think it's gonna happen.
That's my point. Like there was something that
good. Just fucking let it
and
fade into non-existence.
Okay, well, I want it to happen. So.
I know you do.
Well, there's a lot of other people do. Superman did pretty well at the box office.
Yeah, you know what? Superman's coming to HBO soon, and
good.
No, because I don't want to watch it. And
just watch it.
I know it's gonna be free though. It's just gonna be like in my face all the time.
Your low expectations. It's gonna end up being better than you think.
Probably, and I'll be like, oh, I'm a Superman fan. No, that's not gonna happen. Ooh, I saw some pictures or stills of Cell.
Oh, the Stephen King novel adaptation? Really?
Yeah.
Who's in it?
Cusack is the star.
Oh, right.
And Samuel L. Jackson's the second.
Basically, wow, the cast from 1408.
It's basically that, and it looks pretty sweet.
Yeah. Well.
And I know we had this argument once upon a time ago.
A long time ago.
But that book is awesome.
Moving on.
What else? Oh, other Stephen King news. Just dropping it in there. He's got 2 books coming out this year.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
2 in 1 year.
2 in one year, which is not
that surprising with him.
It is and it isn't. Yeah, he dropped 2 last year.
Mm-hmm.
But one was a short novel that wasn't horror.
Okay.
It was called you read it, right? Or seen it?
No.
Joyland.
No.
No?
No.
God, you're the worst Stephen King fan out there.
Yeah.
You're pretty
I've given
horrible.
up on books.
Get out of my...
Who has time to read?
Get out!
Who has time to read when there's shows like True Detective to watch?
Oh, man.
Boom.
Man, boom.
Segue. Yeah, that just happened.
That happened all up in my face.
Yeah.
Before I even...
all over your face. Boom.
Before I even was able to...
Well, were you...
finish.
Did I
I'm not going to finish. I'm not even going to waste my breath.
Did I do that too early?
Did
I finish too early?
You finished too early.
Okay. I do that.
Sounds like a personal problem.
It's affecting more than just me, though.
Whoa, it's affecting everybody.
Hello. We're talking about True Detective tonight.
Tonight's episode is all about TD, and I'm not talking touchdowns.
I'm a little disappointed that we're not talking touchdowns. I mean, it's not football season.
Yeah, no, not even close. But free agency starts in a few days. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow it starts.
It's going to be exciting.
But if you're listening to this on Tuesday, it's today. It's today.
And if you're listening to it after, it just happened.
It happened
maybe a day ago. Maybe two.
Maybe a few days ago. But no, tonight, seriously. Let's get serious.
Okay.
Let's get serious,
right.
Chad.
True Detective time. True Detective.
True Detective. Get in your brain. Fucking awesome show.
One of the best I've ever seen. If not, I'm not ready to say it's the best I've ever seen, but it was amazing.
Definitely not one of the best. But no, it's one of the best.
Not the best.
Not the best. Oh my God, so much happens.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things, lots of characters, and good development. And
we're gonna spoil, right?
A good story.
Yeah. We probably will. So
if you haven't watched True Detective, watch it and then come back to us.
And if you haven't, why not?
Why the fuck not?
I couldn't avoid the buzz it was getting, and I think I said to you, I was like, I want to watch it, and you were like, dude, it's good.
And you never listen to anything I say.
No, I know. It was mostly the buzz. You were the tip of the iceberg. But like everybody that said anything about it for weeks said it was amazing.
Yeah. And honestly, the first 2 episodes start off kind of slow.
That's what everyone says.
3, yeah. It's pretty slow in the beginning.
I mean, I'll agree. I just think that the first murder it's not chronologically the first murder, but the first one we see was enough to draw me in.
Yes.
To even, no matter how slow the first 2 hours, if you want to look at it as just like an 8-hour long movie or something, because the first 2 episodes, I was okay. Yeah, it could have been even slower, and I would have been like, yeah, but that murder was intriguing.
Yeah, that whole thing that happens, and the way they ended each episode was on a good enough cliffhanger.
Yeah,
to keep you going.
Right, but it wasn't like a cheesy cliffhanger. It wasn't like a forced cliffhanger.
No,
it was just like appropriate.
There's only one thing that's like forced in the whole series, and we'll get to that later when we get to the end. Because that was like, whoa.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So we haven't talked about the last episode yet.
We have not.
Right.
But before we do that,
okay,
should we play Pete's second half of his voicemail?
Well, let me first summarize the first half.
Yes. It was a bunch of incoherent rambling.
Yeah. I don't know, like, how...
Pete, what the fuck is with your phone? It was like all crackly and...
I don't know how drunk he was.
I don't think he was drunk. I think he was just tired.
Okay.
The day. The day tired him out.
I'm not sure how tired he was, but he was drunk off his ass, clearly. He was. You're right. It was. Well, he's tired. He's tired. He gets up early. He works long day. It's understandable.
Yeah.
He started off by saying that the show. I think he basically said the show was good, despite the fact that Matthew McConaughey was in it.
Right, because he doesn't like Matthew McConaughey.
But he did end up saying, I think at some point in that first half of the voicemail, that he did a good job.
Right. Which he did.
Right, but he's not thoroughly Team Matthew McConaughey.
Yes, because he did say that he stole an Oscar from
Leonardo DiCaprio, right.
Which he said last week.
Right.
So, Pete repeats himself a lot.
Yeah, if you
want... repeat,
If you want to hear...
I was going to call him Repeat.
Pete's views on True Detective, just listen to last week's episode about the Oscars, and you can hear about his views on Matthew McConaughey. That was basically
the first half of his
right. Voicemail. So he gave in, and he held back, and he gave in, and he held back a little bit. So it was, he compromised, I feel. But go ahead.
He did.
So
I don't really... Did we listen to the second half in its entirety?
I don't know. We'll play it for a little bit, and then maybe if he brings up a point, we'll interject. Yeah.
Okay, got cut off there. Let me finish. So one thing I'm a little concerned about is this idea of an anthology where the cast is going to change every season, so we're not going to see Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
That's what I was meaning to talk to you about.
Right.
Remember that whole thing?
Yeah, I know, and I'm glad you didn't. You know why? Because I would. So what Pete just said, real quick, is that basically they're gonna. The idea is to do the show as an anthology where each season is a different set of cast and characters,
right?
With a different setting, possibly in plot altogether. Yeah. So Tim, a few days ago, was like, "I heard something, and I want to tell you about it," and I was like, shut your mouth right now. I don't want to know anything.
I will punch you in the face.
Yeah, I was really like about to put my fingers to my ears and do the la 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 I can't hear you thing because like I don't want to know anything when I'm about to watch something.
I know.
So, and if you had told me that, I would have been like waiting for one. You would
have punched me in the face.
After that, I would have been waiting for one of them to die.
Yeah.
Or both to die.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I was that adamant because I went in totally blind and was pleasantly amazed.
All right.
So anyway, Pete brought up the fact that, so how do we, I mean, I guess that's cool because like, I was wondering if they're going to continue this. I was almost afraid that if they did, it would not be nearly as good as it was. So at least with a fresh start and something completely different, they don't run the risk of like ruining the Matthew McConaughey, Woody Harrelson experience of True Detective.
Right.
You know what I mean? So. I guess we'll continue Pete's
continue his ramblings.
Yeah,
the ramblings of somebody
again, presumably in season 2. I just wonder if that's going to detract from the consistency of the show in any way. Is that going to really be able to draw in viewers in the same way when they're seeing their favorite characters reappear? You know, what makes a lot of shows really fantastic is be your favorite character, you know, whether it be Jack Bauer, whether it be Gregory House, whether it be Daryl Dixon or Rick Grimes, whether it be what's-his-face on Boardwalk Empire. You know, you get to see that same character over and over again. You get to fall in love with them, and, you know, it's not unbelievable to fall in love with Woody Harrelson's character or Matthew McConaughey's character in just 8 episodes. So, I mean, that's one concern I have. But, you know, I think the best way to describe the show at this point is it's interesting. That's the word I'm looking for, interesting.
I agree with him.
I agree.
It's not mind-blowing and like special effects or anything and, you know, makeup and graphics. It doesn't need to be. It's just interesting stories.
I kept using the word intriguing.
Interesting characters. And while people argue about the finale not being very original in the whole battle of good versus evil, you know, light versus dark. I mean, that's the oldest story in time, and that's the same story, and that's the root story, the epic of every story ever told going forward, and it's just being retold in different ways. So that whole originality argument is a bunch of BS. People don't know what they're talking about. So, you know, let me spread a little enlightenment there. But I don't want to get any further into it. I don't want to ruin the podcast any further than you two have already
Too
done.
late. Too late.
Too late, you jerk.
Now out at this point. Chad, good to hear from you. Tim, good to hear from you. And keep your pants on for the rest of the show.
Yeah, that's true.
There, I know you're not wearing them, and that's just awkward.
He is not.
You guys have a great show.
No
I'll be
pants.
back next week. My overall thoughts on True Detective, but it's solid. End of message.
That's awesome. It just cut him off. I wish we could do that when he was talking.
Yeah, right?
I'm sorry, Pete. I don't mean that.
We didn't mean that, Pete. We love you in a non erotic way.
I'm so glad that you clarified.
I had to clarify that.
Anyway. So he brought up because I shared an article with you.
Yes.
That someone wrote, which I'm behind the article 100%.
Are you?
Well, yeah, it's not, objectively speaking, I think the article was accurate. Okay, so it was.
No, there were some crazy things in that article that was like.
All right. Well, the article was about, I think it was.
Explain the article.
It was 31?
Yeah, 31 cliche buddy cop.
Do I have to get it out?
No, I'm telling you what it is. It was like 31 buddy cop cliches.
Where's my fucking phone?
I don't know, man.
It's gone.
I never know.
Oh, there it is. Something like that. 31 buddy cop cliches. Yeah. And honestly, like the entire time I was reading it, I was thinking about Lethal Weapon. Like it was just, it's true, but like cliches happen for a reason. And the conclusion and the introduction to the article were both very specific that the author loves the show and thought the show was one of the best shows ever. Like fully complimentary, pointing out that despite the cliches and despite the lack of originality, it still was an awesome show. And I think I agree with you. What you said to me was that fuck you, like why do you like we know there's no originality.
Right.
So just forget even bringing it up and just embrace what's there.
Yeah.
And debate it on its own merit.
Well, there's that. Yeah. Just there is no more original story. There
Right.
are, but the actual storytelling, and especially in a very already cliche subgenre of like true crime,
Yeah.
there really isn't much.
No, it's hard.
It's very
to be.
formulaic.
Right.
But what the show did specifically was just take all those cliches and go after them. Like I don't think they tried to like go around cliches. I think they tried to make it very basic.
Yeah.
But the way it was shot between the different years,
right,
different story points,
it was fragmented enough to where it wasn't as formulaic,
like original. Yeah.
Right.
So it was kind of like a little mindfuck. The problem with that article though was that there was like I wish I had it in front of me because I could
probably bring it up pretty fast
specifically, but yeah, there was like some weird stuff in there that was like, well, that's not really cliche. That's just kind of something that happened.
So you're saying that some of the points were not necessarily a stretch, but like they weren't really relevant. Like they were almost inconsequential. Like they're going to happen. They're not necessarily cliches. They just like, they're almost logical. Like you could argue that they deserve to be there.
Right. Like,
and I get that,
I'm trying to think of one.
The long drives.
Yeah. The long drives. Well, they're in Louisiana Bayou. I mean, come on. Of course there's going to be long drives. Have you ever driven the Bayou before, Chad?
No, I've never driven the Bayou. You have though, haven't you?
I have actually. And there's not a whole lot out there, so everywhere is a long car ride.
The important ones were the two cops that wouldn't, like, they're not like each other at all. They're not friends. Mismatched partners who never want to be partners to begin with. Okay. And that's
did they like right off the bat they didn't have a choice.
Again,
but
think Lethal Weapon. Think of other buddy cop movies or shows where that's the case. That, listen, I'm not saying that it made the show worse, but it is like a very common thread with buddy cop stories is mismatched partners. This one too. One's a family man, the other's a loner.
Yeah. I get those. I'm okay with like those.
Well, here's one who's that's not is villain with powerful friends. Like a lot of villains have powerful friends, whether it's a buddy cop movie or it's not a horror movie because usually there's only one villain, but even comedies, if there's a comedic villain, they have powerful friends. Or, a drama, there's a villain, they have powerful friends. Like that's just kind of a thing that goes with being a villain.
Yeah, it's like a theme.
Yeah, and
like the people who are powerful are the most corrupt.
Right.
It's just a theme that happens. Here's my favorite. That's kind of stupid.
Okay.
Witness is scared to talk. No fucking shit. Like what witness would be? Oh, I'd love to tell all the stories about how this guy sexually abused me. Like that's just like, I don't know, stupid.
Right.
Which I don't even know if you can consider that a cliche. Other than that's just something that happens.
But here's how the article is well written, and this is should I tell who wrote the article? Should I give credit or what? Doesn't matter.
Sure.
Well, it's
a Deadspin article.
Yeah, by Drew McGarry. He's a sports writer, and I'm a big fan of his. And the way he writes is funny.
So you do read?
Yeah, shit. Yeah, I do. The way he writes this list is also comedic because it goes like dead naked. This is just number 17, for example. Dead naked women, live naked women. Murder scene looks like old music video directed by Matt Mahurin. Family man cop has to deal with insolent children. Suspects forcefully interrogated in the box. You two, my office. Like that's funny.
It was funny the way it was
right,
written,
and some of them are. That's the point. I think some of them are serious. There's serious implications, and some of them are just like this is gonna happen, and it's gonna happen because it. Like sometimes things are cliches for a reason because they work.
Yeah.
And they repeat and they recur because they work. But, again, the construction is the lesson. Even anti-cop shows are cop shows at heart, no matter how ingenious their construction. Genre is a flat circle. And I think, the sentence that matters to me is no matter how ingenious their construction, like the credits given where credit's due.
Right.
And that's what was so unique about the show. So back to praising the show, let's suck its dick a little bit. How good it was.
Yeah.
You have
Great.
the fragmented storytelling where you have storytelling from 95, 2002, and then present. You have Woody Harrelson telling his version to the two detectives. You have Matthew McConaughey telling his version. Even Michelle Monaghan offering some of her version.
Mm-hmm.
And then, at some point we're finally brought into the present. At that point, we're like, is Matthew McConaughey possibly the killer?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is he really that crazy?
You don't know.
His character was so interesting.
It was.
And
He was.
Yeah. Rustin Cole, like, it was just, and the acting. So let's talk about that for a second.
Matthew McConaughey deserves, what do they give?
Emmys.
Emmys, yeah.
I think this is the year of the McConaughey. Like, he should win an Emmy for this.
He should. I actually watched Dallas Buyers Club the other day, and although it was an okay movie for me,
That's what right.
It wasn't like didn't blow my mind or anything.
I didn't feel changed after I saw it.
No, but he was really good in it.
He was.
And I didn't see the other movies that were nominated for Best Actor.
Right.
But it was definitely worthy.
Right.
So but that said, I think that his performance in True Detective is a lot better.
Oh, it is, but I think with Dallas Buyers Club, the goal was more the transformation, and then I think to act within the transformation. Like, he was given a character that with a physical transformation, so much of it was that.
Yeah.
Which is not a discredit at all, but with this, honestly, like, I thought he was great the whole time. Like, solid, grade A acting. The last scene in the final episode when he's in the wheelchair blew my mind away.
Yeah.
Like, that was like A++++. Like, it was next level.
It was. Which you don't really expect from a guy who is,
and that's so let's
and so many rom-coms.
Yeah, right. And that's what's interesting about him is, like, and I was watching a little thing before
Not
I
to
came.
discredit rom-coms. They have their place.
They do. Talk about formulaic.
Whoa.
I was watching a little thing, the 10 best Matthew McConaughey moments, just to prep a little bit.
All right.
That is, it was roles, not moments, but roles, and that role was one of them.
Yeah, it's got to be up there.
That was like number 1, actually.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Next Generation.
Did not appear on there.
Damn.
Nor did Dallas Buyers Club. Evidently, this was
Before?
Yeah. But this is what's interesting about him is, like, so, he started off actually, like, with a very promising, possibly serious acting career. I mean, other than Dazed and Confused, but then he went into
Angels in the Outfield.
Then he went into Amistad.
Oh yeah, that movie.
I'm trying to have an adult conversation.
Oh,
Tim, sorry.
Hey, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in Angels in the Outfield.
That's true.
There's a lot of big stars in there.
Danny Glover.
Yeah.
Who's the boss?
Danza?
Yeah, Tony Danza.
Danza's in it?
Yeah, I think so.
I forget.
Christopher Lloyd.
Yep, Christopher Lloyd's in it.
I think Tony Danza's in it.
You might be right.
Christopher Lloyd's the angel, though.
Yeah.
I love when he pulls the foul pole, so the ball goes fair.
Such a silly movie.
I know.
Rookie of the Year. Now that's a good.
Dermot Mulrooney's in it too.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's the dad, the estranged dad, who says, "Yeah, maybe we'll hang out one day if the Angels win the pennant or something."
Yeah.
But okay, so back to Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yes.
Amistad.
Good
Time
movie.
to Kill.
Mm-hmm.
Contact, which I know you have issue with that, but you see the point I'm saying is he was in like serious movies.
Yeah, he was.
And then at some point he was like, I'm just gonna be the rom-com guy.
Well, yeah.
For a few years it was Failure to Launch, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, The Wedding Planner.
Yeah. A lot of movies that I wouldn't watch ever, even though Matthew McConaughey's in it.
And I've seen more of them than I haven't. Which was sad. And then
pretty standard.
But and then it's weird.
You saw those movies for the right reasons, right?
Yeah, to get laid.
Right.
Didn't work, but I tried. the arc is just interesting. Like you start off serious and then you dip down into the sort of like cheesy popcorn, ticket sales, like not really displaying a lot of range or acting talent movies. And then there's a place for him, but
yeah, I think he just had to cash in though. It was like
he maybe got typecast.
yeah, he's an attractive guy,
Right.
supposedly.
No, I mean I'd bang him.
And he needed money. He needed to put food on his plate, and
Which is
that's
fine.
what he was good at.
It's usually, I think though, you could make the argument that it goes the opposite way. Usually you start off doing those things, and then like Tom Hanks, for example, started off with all those comedies in the 80s. I mean, he did Joe versus Volcano, Splash,
Yeah.
and then,
Those early movies, I don't know if he had as much, control as. I don't think he got to choose. I have to assume, I don't know, I've never tried to make it as a Hollywood actor before, but when you go out there, you're not trying to, you don't get to pick what you do so
No,
much
I think
as you take what you can get.
I think there's a give and take, and like what movie is it where they joke? It's Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where he's like, you do the safe movie,
Yeah.
and then you do the indie movie or
Right.
whatever. So like maybe there's some choice, and
Later on.
right. So whatever the reason is, his career just isn't the usual.
Yeah.
But now I guess he's making choices now.
Yeah,
because,
now he can do whatever he wants.
right, and that I think that sort of started with like I never saw it, but the Lincoln Lawyer I hear is good, and he sort of doesn't play.
I heard he likes playing like a lawyer because he actually was a lawyer at one point.
Really?
Yeah, I read that somewhere.
Huh.
Or he went to school for it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so that's why he was, in A Time to Kill.
Right, Amistad.
Yep, he likes the Lincoln Lawyer.
Right.
So it's probably around that time, Lincoln Lawyer, when you got to kind of, do some different things.
Well, that makes sense because then after that there was like Killer Joe, where he plays a contract killer, and then Mud, which I actually saw that, which it was good, and then I don't know what he did after Mud and before Dallas Buyers Club, but I feel like there was something else in there. I'm not sure what it was. No, I don't know. Never mind. I thought I had it. But anyway, now he can do what he wants, and he's on True Detective, and it was fucking awesome.
Fucking awesome.
I can't say, I have to say it again, like the finale. And so I'm not sure how people feel about it. Like I immediately went on Facebook right after to see if like there was going to be, and on Twitter to see if there's going to be a shitload of like, oh my
hate?
God, that was amazing, or hate. Yeah. And
I could see it being like people being not outraged by it, but
Right.
unfulfilled maybe.
well, it was almost anticlimactic in how
it
quick
was
it happened.
kind of, yeah, it was.
Because like, we're a half hour in, and I think he's not far away from getting the killer.
Yeah.
Which I like the killer. Like I didn't like his character, but like
Yeah.
I like how he was portrayed. Like
Oh, you want to know what he did? He did Magic Mike.
which I mean, Steven Soderbergh. It had some critical acclaim.
You know what else he was in? Which is funny now that I'm looking at it. Eastbound and Down.
Really?
Did you ever see that show?
No, but on that same token, he was in Tropic Thunder, and I think that's one of his best roles.
Yeah.
He
Plays like a GM on the baseball team that he's
okay.
on. He was really funny. He was kind of like he was in Tropic Thunder.
Right. So that's the point. Is like, I don't think people realized his range.
Yeah, yeah.
Until now, and I think, but my what I was saying before about Contact and Amistad and Time to Kill is like it was evident before. It just somehow got lost and like, but it was, I don't know, because like I feel like he got a lot of that like that he can't act. He's just he's a good looking guy that can be in a rom-com, like that kind of stigma. But so it's nice to see that he's finally getting the credit he deserves.
Oh yeah, and it's always enjoyable to see actors who are typecast to do different things. So
yeah, and get a chance to show their range and prove people wrong and stuff like that. Yeah. No, it totally is. But so back to the finale.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was almost like it was over a lot sooner than I expected.
It was, yeah. Well, that's what brings me to my point of how they got to there. Because, all right, so they had all these clues, all these things. They're just trying to piece it together, right? So there's really one or two things that they needed to connect.
Right.
The greenhouse.
Right.
The
and
paint.
The green ears.
Yeah, the green ears. I thought that was not ridiculous, but...
That was like the linchpin.
Yeah.
That was the missing piece.
Like, how the hell did he get paint like on his ears? Like... How would you make that association?
As a former painter, I can tell you it's very easy to get paint on your ears.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's just
It probably happened when he was rolling on the wall and splat or the ceiling. Well, no, he wouldn't have been rolling green on the ceiling, but splatter probably happened.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know.
Or maybe he and his friend were horsing around.
Maybe.
And one was like, "Hey, I'm gonna, dab a little paint on your ears."
Maybe.
And then that's how he got green.
I don't know,
ears.
but I think that was just like not a leap. I don't know. I don't know what the
I know what you're saying.
I don't know.
It was surprised.
How they properly explain it.
What I was surprised that was the missing piece.
Yeah, that
it
was
wasn't
like
the
something
link. Bigger.
And yeah, exactly. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was like, oh, really? That's the thing that connects him to green ears. Because the whole time you're thinking like, what's the green ears mean?
Right.
You've seen the scars on his face.
Mm-hmm.
You knew that he was the guy that they saw back in '92.
Finally, I was like,
you knew that was something.
When he's on the wheel, the ride rower,
right?
Yeah, outside the school. But I went back and watched that like 2 minutes, and I literally paused it and I got up as close as I could to the TV. I'm like, I couldn't tell.
Yeah, you can't.
It was so well shot,
right?
Because you got to figure Matthew McConaughey, who's seemingly the more perceptive of the two and has a better memory, is going to be like, I saw a guy with scars who was associated with the schools, with the the Tuttle Initiative schools.
Well, that's why that was the whole catalyst for why he thought that he obviously forgot. Either forgot or saw what you saw.
Well, he says he's like, I saw him back in 92 or in 95 outside one of the schools.
Right.
But it was, I didn't know how tall he was then because they didn't have a physical description of a good one, and he couldn't see the scars because his face was dirty.
Right.
So he remembered him, but he didn't know it was.
But there was that inkling of doubt
because he went back to the school.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that, and he clearly thought there was something else going on through the whole time.
Right.
So he knew that
something
was
fishy.
something missing, and it was just that one piece.
No, and now while I agree that was surprising that was the big piece, I like that Woody Harrelson was the one that figured it out.
Yeah.
That was cool because like I said, I figured it would be Cole because he was clearly seems like the more perceptive. and was piecing things together quicker, but it was Woody Harrelson's character, which is cool.
Yeah, and Woody Harrelson I thought did a fantastic job too.
He did, but I think he did too, and I liked him, I hated him, I liked him, I hated him.
But the thing is with Woody, that's kind of a character that he's played before.
Exactly, I feel like he was the more typecast of the two.
Right, but still did a great job.
Yeah,
very believable. And I'm not like a huge fan of Woody Harrelson, honestly.
No, I'm good with him, but I don't,
I don't really even care for him that much.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like him, but I don't.
Like Zombieland is like my favorite Woody Harrelson movie.
Yeah, it's probably mine too. But he was good in this.
Or like maybe Natural Born Killer or something like that.
Yeah, that too.
But I thought he did good. I thought all the acting, even Michelle Monaghan for however little she was in it.
Yeah, I kind of hated her. I mean,
really?
I felt bad for her. I definitely felt bad for her. But
I felt bad for her
when she at some point.
I hated Woody Harrelson, and he was a dick.
I did too, but like at a certain point, she became very cold. The character became very cold.
Right. Well, and
I understand why, but like there was just something about that turned me off for the right reason. It was.
It turned you off.
What?
It turned you off?
Yeah. Sorry.
You went a little limp.
You can't go 5 minutes without a sex joke.
Nope. Or a penis joke.
Or yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm gonna say it again. The acting in that last scene when he's in the wheelchair.
Oh yeah.
It was inspired.
Yeah.
And it was such a okay, so back to the finale.
Uh-huh.
So like it felt a little anticlimactic because it's like 40 minutes and the killer's dead. Maybe 45.
Mm-hmm.
And then actually I think it was our producer who's in our Facebook thread pointed out that the ending could have almost happened 3 different times.
Yeah.
There was like
it had like a Lord of the Rings like ending kind of.
Yeah, and each one of them would have been like
a good ending.
Yeah, or at least justifiable
right.
ending. Like there were total cliffhangers, but would have been okay. I wouldn't have been surprised. But so then when they're it doesn't end on them holding, Woody Harrelson holding a dying Matthew McConaughey, in his lap.
Right.
It doesn't end there. It doesn't end with, the doctor, the 2 detectives being like, he's in a coma, he hasn't woke up.
Right.
And then it goes on. I'm like, what's the point? Like the killer's caught. We know that, you know, like there's still the conspiracy and like there's still a story to be told. Maybe there's more that's going to happen. But what do we really, anyway, so the I don't want to say the climax, but it was almost the real climax was in the two characters.
Yeah.
You know, like them still like kind of loving each other and kind of hating each other. Like, fuck you, man. Oh, fuck you. You know, but when they're outside and Matthew McConaughey's character says that he basically, when he was in the coma, everything his character the whole time is so cynical and jaded and like basically, you know, he thinks mankind is a virus. You know,
he says some weird like
throughout the whole
very
show.
cynical things,
very nihilistic, very like cynical is not even the word.
Misanthropic.
Yeah, totally. And he sees some shit. So like, you know, he's got all the good reasons to feel that way. And his daughter was killed. You know, I mean, how do you recover from your child being killed? You know, of course, like you can't. I don't think you can argue with that, right?
That's a cliche.
Sure, but
just joking.
So then he comes full circle when like he doesn't come full circle. Actually, he does a 180-degree turn because now he like has a sense of, I want to say spirituality, but maybe that because he says like he felt her love when he was underneath, you know, when he was like in the darkness, and he wanted to go to it. For his character to go from like there's nothing, we're just all going to turn to vegetation, like we're just going to return to the earth where we were, to end up arguably believing in an afterlife, or at least that like there's some sense of spirituality and love out there. Like he goes from nihilistic to the opposite of that, which is pretty amazing.
It was good,
and that was the real climax in a way. So it's like that's what we were waiting for,
right?
I don't know. So I'm not sure what the haters are saying about the finale, but
I don't know either. I don't really care what the haters have to say.
No, I don't either.
I don't think that I have nothing bad to say about it except for the Green Ears thing, which I can get over. Like that's not a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, it was more like I think a lot of the cliche detective stories are like the final missing piece is so big, there's not a whole lot of missing pieces to get to before that. Whereas this, there were a lot of missing pieces to get to before that. And this was just a little bit bigger than those. You know what I mean? So it was almost like they were putting together these pieces the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, from like the Tuttle Foundation, the family ties, and the sheriff and Childress and all that stuff. Like it was all these little pieces to put together rather than just one big one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, awesome all around. I know I've told you this, but that episode 4, the ending, like one of the best shot scenes ever.
Yep.
Just one continuous scene.
Yeah.
And
6 minutes or so, I think it was.
Yeah, I don't know. I love that kind of filmmaking. Just that very guerrilla style, cinematography. Just one motion. The closest thing I can compare it to is Children of Men did it. They had one scene where it was longer than the True Detective scene. It was like 10 minutes where they're going through the buildings and it's like an action scene.
Right. Okay.
Where shit's just blowing up and it's one continuous scene for like a good 10 minutes.
Right.
When he's going in through the buildings to get the girl out.
Yeah.
It's kind of shot the same way.
I got you.
And I don't know. It's very like intense. It's just an intense way of filmmaking.
I read an article where someone said that was like possibly the most intense 6-minute sequence ever on TV.
Yeah, I was like literally on the edge of my seat. And like the crazy thing is, what also makes this show different is that watching like flashbacks that they're gonna live. They're gonna live. Right. They're gonna make it out of any situation. But it's still so fucking intense that you're like biting your nails and you're on the edge of your seat. And I think it takes like a very, very special show to do that.
You're
Not
right.
just any show.
And so that brings me to kind of, I don't want to say full circle, because Pete brought up the anthology thing.
Yeah.
And this is maybe a spoiler, maybe not, but supposedly the next season, if there is one, of True Detective will not. I heard only one of them isn't going to be in it though.
Really?
I don't know. That might have been misinformation.
I heard it's just it's almost like an anthology where it's a completely
Right.
different story.
So let's say that that's the case. And so I know we were talking before, like, is that going to ruin, like, because how much of the effectiveness and the awesomeness of this show was the cast?
They could equally cast, some big names to do it.
Right.
That now that you've seen how it's going to be and how it worked.
Well, because the reason,
I mean, Nicolas Cage and Arnold Schwarzenegger could easily sign on for season 2.
I hope they do. But you mentioned that sequence in the 4th episode,
Yeah.
right? And the writing and the way the story was told. I mean, not to take away from the stars, but that had nothing to do with the stars.
No.
That was all directing and writing,
Right.
and production. And so if it's the same director and writer and all the other talent
Yeah.
behind the camera, there's no reason to think it wouldn't be as good.
No, I don't think. I think they have a very good idea,
Yeah.
and they want to tell like some true detective stories in almost the same way. What's a good example? How do we liken this to something?
Wait, where it's an anthology or
Yeah.
the subgenre?
The anthology part.
I have I don't know. I mean, the only what weirdly popped in my head was Sin City.
Yeah, that's what I was. All right, that's what I was gonna go with it.
Okay.
Yeah, like Sin City,
Yeah.
where it's everything's its own story, and who knows? Maybe they will relate back to each other somehow.
Right. I mean, the guy who wrote it, Nick Pizzolatto, I think is
Uh-huh.
how you pronounce his name. I know he's, I think neo noir is his genre. He wrote Galveston, which I think is a novel, and it takes place in the South. And I think that's his wheelhouse is like Southern.
Crime.
Yeah. So I wouldn't, the very geographic connection makes it possible for there to be, a connection with the characters too.
Yeah.
Because he's probably not going to go very far from there.
Yeah, it could totally be like a Sin City thing where each story's its own, but some of the characters get drawn in,
Overlap and stuff. Yeah.
Some of the story plot points are overlapped.
It sucks that we're going to have to wait a year.
I know. Well, hopefully there'll be some news,
Mm-hmm.
like who they're gonna cast, what kind of story we're gonna get.
Hopefully, indeed.
Yeah, because amazing, just amazing.
Yeah, it was. And if you haven't seen it, you need to go watch it.
Watch it right now.
I mean, it's
Stop
gonna
what you're
be-
doing.
Yeah,
Stop listening to us if you already haven't
right.
or have, and just fucking watch it. It's on demand.
Yeah.
It's free,
Till March
if it-
24th, I think.
and if it's not free, sack up and buy it.
Yeah, it's worth the price of admission. So it's like 2 weeks, I think you have, but I'm sure it'll be available
I will
again.
gladly pay to watch it again.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing too. Real quick is just the other unique thing about it, because there's so many unique things from the storytelling,
Mhm.
the fragmented storytelling, the different perspectives and points of view. The environment was a character in itself. I mean, we
Yeah.
didn't even mention that the bayou and the cinematography was
Louisiana Bayou.
Yeah, that was in and of itself, like the dialogue, the casting was next level shit.
Yeah.
Like they took it in such a good way. But holy shit, I just forgot what I was gonna say. What was I talking about?
Louisiana Bayou.
Yeah, no. But oh no. I don't remember.
Shit, man, you just had a fucking.
It was
moment.
something about why you should go watch it. It's only available for the next. Oh, it was like a movie.
It is
it
like
was
a
like
really
an
long
8-hour movie.
Yeah, it was. It was exact. The continuity.
Yeah, because it takes place over really only like a few weeks.
Yeah, the current time takes
Right,
place,
right,
and
right.
all the stuff in the past is
Yeah, some of the
Maybe-
current stuff takes place sequentially.
Yeah,
really, like
it really does
in one day.
Once you get to like the 8th episode, it's all
yeah,
no more flashbacks.
yeah. That it just there's so many good things. And Pete used the word interesting, and I said, well, he was playing his voicemail, intriguing. Like I just kept feeling.
Is that what
like-
he said? I couldn't really hear. It
Yeah,
sounded like
he-
he had like a bunch of mothballs in his mouth.
Well, he was just waking up. He was just getting out of bed.
Oh, or maybe he was stuck on some mothballs.
Oh, or that.
Oh, hey.
Maybe it wasn't
Hey,
mothballs.
hey now, whoa,
Intriguing.
intriguing, very intriguing.
Yeah. I just wanted more.
Mind blowing for me.
Yeah.
Some stuff.
And the finale was tense too, like the in Carcosa or whatever that you want
Yeah.
to call that, like the ruins. That was and
That was
we don't
creepy
even,
as shit. Actually,
It really was.
when it's like a maze and there's like all these fucking bodies.
Yeah.
And, oof.
And then when he gets stabbed in the stomach, I'm like, no, like
Yeah.
I
Can
really,
we talk about that for a second? Just
Go
for a
ahead.
brief second. How does he not die.
Oh,
Like that was
that's
the whole thing.
another
I was like,
buddy cop cliche. The villain is superhuman almost.
because I knew.
Oh wait, you mean Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How does he not die? For
Because
sure.
I knew that they weren't coming back for season 2, from what I
so
understood.
you assume that?
I assumed one of them or both of them were gonna die.
Right.
And once that happened, I was like, fucking McConaughey's getting it right now.
Yeah.
And he's fucking like, all right. So when I don't know too much about being stabbed in the stomach,
You're not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor.
Don't even act like you're an expert.
or in the medical field at all.
Right.
But I've seen enough movies in my time.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. You are an expert. Continue.
Yes. So when you get stabbed in the liver, that's pretty mortal. That's like a mortal wound.
Well, we don't know. We got stabbed in the liver. It was more
But
centered.
we do, because when you get, from what I understand from watching so many movies, that when you get stabbed in the liver, it like you bleed black almost, because it's just the stuff that's inside the liver or whatever.
Bile.
Yeah. So there was tons of black blood coming out of them.
You know it was black.
Yeah, I saw it. Because I've seen enough movies, and I'm like, once you start bleeding black, you're fucked. And I saw the black blood, and I was like, oh, he's fucked. He's done. But no, he's still alive.
It's interesting where you went with that. Well, I do know also that
I don't really know that for a fact, but I'm just guessing. I'm just assuming maybe they got some in time and saved him. Maybe that's what happened. But he was down there for a long time.
I know it's hard to believe.
It was deep.
Yeah,
inside
and then he like picked him up from it.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
oh yeah, he was a good foot off the ground, and that's
I
next
hear you.
level. Like, oh.
The word mortal popped into my head too. I was like, that's a mortal wound. Like,
Yeah,
he's
that's
not gonna live.
That's not a flesh wound at all.
No. And then I was like, but you knew Woody Harrelson was gonna come sort of save the day.
Right.
And then he gets a hatchet
Yeah.
in his chest, and I'm like, what? I expected
That villain was pretty badass.
Yeah.
Like, cause when he's sitting on his fucking mower, and he's like, my family's been here a long
Yeah.
time, and you're thinking like, who's this like
yeah.
hick?
Right.
He's not scary.
Right.
Oh, he's got some scars on his face and green ears. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, he can do things with like children, but that's not.
I know.
He can't handle a real man.
Yeah, and he's having sex with like his sister or something.
Oh,
like,
that was
like
in a
he-
Cary Grant voice, and he was doing impressions and shit.
yeah. What was that? That was so weird.
That's why I liked that.
He was
That scene,
It was
like-
very. It reminded me a lot of like Silence of the Lamb. Like it reminded me of Buffalo Bill.
Those little details were good.
Yeah, but so like,
Yeah, you didn't expect him to be. Like,
I didn't think he was gonna
badass.
be. Yeah, he was real badass. He was like charging. And what did they properly explain like Matthew McConaughey's like vision?
That's the only. If there's a loose end in the show, it's that.
It was like, was that what he was talking about at the end, where he kind of like, because he knew he was gonna die, because it hadn't happened yet, but at the end he was talking about like when he was on like in the blackness.
I thought that was when he's in the wheelchair scene
It sounded like he was talking about when he was already.
in the coma.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. That's what I thought too. So this is what I thought when he looks up and sees the
universe.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
opens up to him.
Right. I was like, is that Carcosa? Like I was ready for some supernatural stuff to start.
Yeah, like that's the thing. That's where this show kind of toes the line almost. It's like it tries to get into the supernatural a little bit, but then once you get there,
Right.
they immediately jump back over the line and like, oh, this is reality.
Like yeah, I think the whole time we're basically assuming that whatever supernatural aspects they're not real. They're just in the minds of the villain.
Right.
They just believe in this thing. But then we see that, and I don't know. Like I think that might be because it's been hinted that not by us or the media or anybody in the business. The show hints, it outright says that there's more people to this plot.
Right.
Like there was the people in the masks in the video. Like there are more than just the main killer.
Right.
I mean, clearly he's doing the lion's share of the work, but like there's other people that are involved. So I don't think we've seen the end of. Maybe there are a couple loose ends. Who's in the video? How far it goes up to the top, the tunnels, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then that supernatural, that swirling the
black-
universe,
yeah.
But here's to bring it back from the supernatural, like the show has done.
Yeah.
Is that just one of Rust's visions? because he does still see shit. He said,
Yeah.
and it was a point that was made in the last episode that he still sees shit.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know. It could have just been that.
Could have been. I don't know, but show blows my mind,
Yeah,
and it's good.
it was, and at its heart, it was about light versus dark.
Yeah, good versus evil.
Yeah,
The age-old tale.
yeah. Tale as old as time.
Yeah.
And what does he say at the end? I mean, it was corny, but ask me, light's winning.
Yeah.
You know, it was good. It really, like, his character's transformation was epic
Right.
in a lot of ways.
It was.
Can't
Yeah,
say
man.
enough good things about it. Go watch it.
Go watch it. Just fucking watch it, you fuckers.
Should we have some trivia?
We should get on that right now. Let's get on some trivia.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's getting late.
It's getting a little late. It's getting to be.
Oh, someone did give you a happy birthday Facebook message, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, one of them is your wife.
Oh.
But hey, happy birthday to Tim Meyer.
Hey, thanks.
He's 33 years old today.
No, I'm not.
He's
That's you.
You're right. He's 32
That's
years
you.
old.
That's you.
31.
Now you're
Oh,
just, you're just
man.
saying what you are now.
You're over 30. That sucks.
Let's just play some trivia
Okay.
and shut the fuck up.
How old is Tim?
Let's play trivia.
Trivia time.
Trivia. Oh yeah, trivia.
Let's see how well you guys are paying attention to the series.
Oh, it's movie magic.
I have several questions for you.
Several.
Several. And by several, 17.
Wow.
But I think they'll go fast because I'm pretty confident, based on how well the podcast has gone so far, that you will know a lot of these.
That's awesome.
That's
Number
great.
one.
That's good stuff.
After one of Rust's interrogations with suspected pharmacy robber and killer Guy Francis, how does the suspect die?
What?
After he interrogates suspected pharmacy robber Guy, how did that suspect die?
Oh, I remember.
He interrogates a guy and he dies.
I don't remember exactly how, but I sort of do.
Oh yeah, I kind of do too. Doesn't he like?
Well,
Yeah.
this isn't
we're
a
not
discussion.
talking anymore about it. We have to answer the question.
Oh, we have
The talking's done.
Right.
I remember the scene, and he's.
I have my guess.
You're still talking about it.
I don't remember exactly how he does it.
So just you gotta guess. It's trivia time right now.
It's true. All your talking should have got out of your system by now.
I don't know. He bashes his own face in or something. I don't know.
Shanked
He was shanked?
with a shiv.
Tim was closer. Suicide.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's right,
He
yeah.
he bashes.
Yeah,
I
give
thought
him the point. I remember that now.
Okay.
I just remember like the pool of blood coming out of the.
That was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Cole infiltrates the biker group, what name does he go by?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's why I asked it.
Fuck. I think we mentioned that before when we were talking.
I have a guess, but I know it's not him. I think that was somebody else.
I have no idea.
Mouse?
No,
Starts with a C.
it's definitely not Mouse then.
No. Cat?
Carter.
Crash.
Crash. Yeah.
It's always one word that's
Mhm.
not a real name.
In
in
episode
those biker gangs.
In episode
'Cause
4,
I'm an expert at biker gangs.
Obviously.
where does Cole get the cocaine to bring to the club?
Lock up.
I was gonna say the evidence room.
Yeah, lock up.
Yeah, same thing. That's correct.
And he does something too.
Yeah, he does quite a bit.
He does a lot of drugs.
Yeah, that episode he goes ham.
He's a bad man.
How much did it cost to paint the house green?
Oh,
I remember this.
do you?
Of course. I mean,
$250.
$250.
Yes.
I wish he did a follow up as to how much he wrote off on his taxes because it was more. It was $265.
Whoa.
What brand of cigarettes does Cole smoke?
Come on,
Camel.
Camel.
Yes.
Camel Blue.
I don't know about that.
Whoa.
When driving up to the house in the finale, what smell does Cole smell?
but- I remember one of them. I got it.
There was only one.
He says two things. Oh, I thought he says a taste.
Yeah, it's like a taste.
It's the
smell.
synesthesia thing because he's like, I've tasted this smell
Yeah.
before. I think he says,
Yeah.
and that's the whole sensory synesthesia. It's a condition. You
Yeah.
don't know anything about it.
It's the-
Dead bodies.
Ash and aluminum.
Yes, ash and aluminum.
Ooh,
Dead bodies.
I don't know. There's a lot of dead people.
There's a couple.
There's a
Cole,
couple. People
Cole,
die.
Cole holds which biker gang member at gunpoint after the shootout in the stash house?
That might be Mouse. Maybe Mouse?
Is that your guess?
No, I don't really know.
Is it? So you don't have a guess?
No.
Ginger.
Ginger.
Ginger, yeah. Oh, fuck. That's right. Shit.
Cole's giant notebook has earned him what nickname?
Fuck.
I gotta say, I know this one too.
Oh, it's killing me. Oh. Fuck, I know as soon as you say it. I want to say like Magic Man or something, but I'm not sure.
Ooh, kind of close. Taxman.
Taxman. In episode 4, how does Cole explain his absence when he goes undercover?
How does he explain his absence?
Yeah.
When he goes undercover?
When he goes undercover,
With the biker gang.
he has to explain to the biker gang why he was gone.
Oh.
What did he say? Was there a reason?
Didn't he say he was in another state or something? He said he was in
Is
like
that your answer?
he was in Texas or something. I don't.
Why was he gone?
I don't know.
Got shot. And they thought he was dead or something and he was laying low. I don't know. Something like that.
I don't know. I just remember him saying he was in Texas or something.
I thought it was Mexico.
Was it Mexico?
I don't know, but he was taking care of his dying father. That's what he
Oh.
told him.
Oh, wait. You mean, not what he told the biker gang, what he told the two other detectives, Papillon and Papa Doc or something, right?
No, he told them. Didn't he tell them something different?
I don't know.
Because he did have to explain to the biker gang why he wasn't
Yeah,
there.
and that's where I think he was laying low in Texas. That's what he told the biker gang, but he told the two other detectives in present day that he was taking care of his dying father.
Oh, that might make sense.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I don't
Okay.
know.
What is Marty Hart's wife's name?
I know.
Michelle Monaghan? I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Maggie?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
It's almost like too easy.
In 2002, Hart cheats on his wife with Beth, who works at blank.
Which one is better? In 2002?
He cheated on her with so many.
I know there were so many.
You know who Beth is, right?
Oh, I know.
I think I have my guess.
Where does she work?
She works at the cell phone place.
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
I'll give it to
count
him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I said she worked for like the prosecutor or something.
Right.
Or that
What
would
is
have been wrong.
What is the name of the biker gang that Cole tries to infiltrate?
Oh.
The Mighty Wings?
the Mighty Ducks.
The Mighty Ducks. That's what I meant. Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know.
Oh, that was your honest answer?
I don't know.
This is so easy.
I'm sure it is.
It's not Hell's Angels or something.
Iron Crusaders.
Oh, yeah. So easy.
During his interrogation, what kind of beer does Cole drink?
It's the only beer they drink in the entire show.
I know. I want to say it's like Pabst Blue, but it's not.
PBR.
Oh, shit. Oh. You know, I remember looking at it at one point and being like, oh. But I forget.
I've never had this. I don't know. I thought it might have been fictitious, but I guess it's real.
I thought it was too. Because I was like, oh, never really heard of that.
Yeah. So do you have a guess?
No.
Lone Star.
Yes. There's still time to catch up, Tim.
How many am I down by?
2.
2, and there's 3 questions.
Whoa.
Matthew McConaughey's wife, actress Michelle Monaghan, was in what 2008 movie with Patrick Dempsey?
I'm ashamed that I know this.
Is it that like Man of Honor movie?
Wow.
Is it?
You're so close.
What was it?
What's your answer?
I guess it's that. It's the only Patrick Dempsey movie I know.
Say it again?
Man of Honor or something.
Oh, man. Maid of Honor.
Maid of Honor.
Maid of Honor.
All right.
Close.
I almost wanted to give it to him because he was close.
I knew that the movie was.
And the fact that you know it just by association, I've actually seen parts of it.
Should I give it to him?
I should lose a point. Is what should happen. Give it to him.
I'll give it to
It's
you.
close enough.
Man, charity.
In what movie did Woody Harrelson play a character named Roy Munson?
Munson.
Come on. You know this.
I do.
Okay. So say it.
Kingpin?
Kingpin.
Yes.
Bill Murray?
In what movie did Matthew McConaughey star with Jennifer Lopez?
Matthew McConaughey
Oh, I know this one, sadly.
with
Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez!
Taco flavored kisses.
Taco flavored kisses!
Tacos
Tacos and burritos!
I don't know.
No?
I mean, I might be able to figure it out, but I don't know. I don't know offhand.
Made in Manhattan?
No.
No?
The Wedding Planner.
Oh, I get those movies confused because they're both
Chad
stupid.
has won.
Wow. I hate you, Chad.
I hate me too.
Yeah. It's all right. I'm kind of glad I didn't know some of those.
Well, you did know Man of Honor. We gave it to you, remember?
Yeah, but I didn't actually know it.
Right.
So
You haven't actually seen parts
I
of
feel
it.
like I've won. Even though
Good
I
for
lost.
you.
It was a moral victory.
Wow.
You should be ashamed of yourself for winning.
Wow. I am ashamed. But that was quite an endeavor, and I'm a little bit tired after all this.
I know. So, Chad, is there anything else you want to add before we hit the road? Sign off? Say goodbye till next week?
No, I think that's it.
Just True Detective is awesome.
Yeah, and give the man a chance. Matthew McConaughey.
He's got
I
some
think
chops.
he's the real deal.
He is. He's the
Yeah.
man.
All right.
All right, everyone. We will catch you next week.
I hope. Yeah.
Well, unless something happens.
Yeah.
Like we get canceled.
Dude, I'm fucking taking next week off. I'm gonna phone it in too.
Whoa.
Fuck this. I quit.
No.
Okay, bye.
Bye.